guys! Today I have for you a review and swatches of the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts palette. I have been stalking this palette for weeks. I'm so excited to finally have it. I have seen reviews and swatches of some of their single shadows and they look great, but I don't own any. So I was really excited to finally get a palette because I'm just a palette person. I'm not a fan of carrying around single shadows and then having to buy a Z palette and all of that. So getting into the packaging, this is how it comes. This is actually a sleeve, which I hadn't realized from some of the pictures online. So this comes out. See, the back is pretty cute. And this is your actual palette. It has kind of that NARS Lorac Pro matte finish. So who's excited for how dirty it's gonna get? And it has that like a magnetic closure. So you open it. You get your 12 shadows. There are 6 matte and 6 foiled, and you have a pretty long mirror on the back. All of your shades are vegan, yeah, except Ladyship, which is this magenta right here. Now, if you're looking at this palette, you might be like, oh girl, this is giving me modern Renaissance teas, and it kind of is. This palette retails for $50 and the modern Renaissance is $42. Now normally I would go with the cheaper palette, but I decided to wait on the Anastasia because that is their first permanent palette, so it's gonna be here for a while if I decide to change my mind. And this one was marketed as being limited edition. Now, you know how these beauty companies like to play, and they say that to get your money, but then it's around for a year, if not more. I wouldn't be surprised if this went permanent. But just in case, I went ahead and snatched it up. I hope y'all can't hear that truck outside. Just in case, I went ahead and snatched it up, and mostly because I wanted to give my support to a Black-owned company. I have their liquid lipsticks and I love them. I was excited for these colors. They look brown girl friendly. Air looks like a great brow bone highlight. It's pretty peachy and I feel like it won't pull ashy on you. Royal Prerogative looks like a great crease color, like a great transition color. And I love Princess. The only thing I feel like this palette might be missing is it's a more chocolatey shade. This is as dark as it gets, pretty much Dethroned. But if you wanted that to darken up your crease or your outer V, I mean, there are no rules. You could use a foiled shadow, but if you want a matte look, for this look, which if we have time I will be showing you later, I used Princess and I had to darken up with Duchess. And if you go in with a very small blending brush, you can kind of place it in there and darken as you need to. Now, as for quality, I mean, I don't have 5 million shadows or palettes or anything like that. So to compare them, I will say once again that this is pretty similar to the Lorac Pro, especially when I look at the mattes. I don't own any foiled shadows at all, so I can't really speak to that. But I won't say that they're powdery, but when you dip in, you might have, some flying around a little bit. I've worn it out before, and it has a pretty good wear. My eyes were not irritated, so I really have no complaints about this palette, and I'm interested in learning and growing with it. I feel that I'm not sure if it's gonna move on up into my favorites. I don't know how often I will use it just because I don't use foiled shadows that often, going for that glitzy, glamoury look. I'm a huge fan of mattes, but this will definitely, take me out of my comfort zone a little bit and force me to use them. But yeah, that is about all on the specs of it. Let us get into the swatches. I just want you guys to know that I did shave my arm to do this. I feel like a lot of people swatch on the underside of their arm, but girl, this is like a smooth NC45, and this is what actually matches my face at about an NC50, NC55, so we're gonna go with the outside of the arm. I'm going to be using just your basic e.l.f. brush for the mattes, and I'm using a Morphe G15 for the foiled shadows. I'm not like a makeup artist. I don't have like Sigma or MAC brushes. I'm not paying $20 for a brush. So if you're using like brushes with a similar price point, this is just what you're gonna expect. But obviously you can go in and like keep packing it on and work with it. You don't need $20 brushes, guys. So I'm going to swipe, swipe, and then swatch. Same thing with my finger, swipe, swipe, and then swatch. My arm has been primed with the it does not have a name on it anymore, but this is the primer that comes with the Lorac palettes. I love the Urban Decay Primer Potion, but I seem to have misplaced mine at the moment. All right, let's get started. So that's it for the swatches, guys. I will say I know some of them looked a little underwhelming, but I think that's because we are used to a lot of people over swatching these days. And like I said before, I don't know, maybe it is my quality of brushes, but I will say that I have applied a lot of these on the lid and I really do like them. They're gorgeous. Additionally, like when you're applying on the lid, you know, you're kind of just patting. You're not dragging, so it's not like, all that kind of matters is where that initial placement of the powder is. Just because like it might tail out towards the end doesn't necessarily mean that it's a crap shadow. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's about it. If this video is not already ridiculously long, you will now be seeing some eye looks. Bye guys, thank you for watching. So, my eyes are already primed with the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eyeshadow Primer. This is me realizing I forgot to throw down a transition shade, so I'm going in with Royal Prerogative on a Morphe M503 brush. I love how fluffy this brush is, so you don't end up overdoing it. Next, I'm going to be taking an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and placing Princess all over the lid. I love how everyday this shade is, and it reminds me a lot of Mauve from the Lorac Pro palette, which is one of my favorite shades. Now you see me about to start blending my crease and outer V with Duchess on a Morphe M412 before realizing it wasn't going to be dark enough, so I decided to go back in using the tiny E36. This is great for making out where you want the color and adding some depth and drama, but it's too small to really blend, so it will leave you with a patchy look if you don't go back later, which is exactly what I decide to do next, again with the M412. When I'm done with that, I place a little more of Princess on my lid since I think I may have blended away some of it, and then we're good to go with mascara. Since we're going for more of an understated look, I'm using Clinique's High Impact Mascara. In truth, I was rummaging in my drawers and forgot I had it, so I thought, hey, why not? I don't really use Clinique products, but this was a gift, so no complaints. Then I'm going to go in on the waterline with Smolder by MAC because even on a daytime look, I can't resist a little drama. And that's it. By the way, that was Ruthie by Colored Rain on my lips. For this look, we're going to do more of a glam halo eye. Admittedly, it's my first time trying this, so bear with me. Here I am using a Morphe 501 again to place Royal Prerogative above my lid as a transition color. I used to think this was way too big and would just end up depositing color everywhere, but I think that's almost the point, so you don't end up with a super harsh crease. Here I am using Ladyship on my outer corner with an e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. This particular brush is a little flatter and shorter, more like what you would use to smoke out your lower lash line, which is why I chose it. I figured it would help with a more precise placement. I'm doing the same with my inner corner before dragging it through my crease to connect the two sides, leaving my center lid bare. I don't think it really matters how messy it looks at first because we're going to blend and put the fun color right on top. Just darkening up, and here we go with Royal Highness on the center lid with a Morphe G15. That wasn't doing enough for me, so I decided to spritz my brush with some Fix Plus from MAC. Spritz. I've seen people do this before picking up shadow, but that makes me nervous about leaving a film in the pan, so I just do it after I have shadow on the brush. And there we have the high drama. Then I added some more Ladyship with the E36, trying to darken it up and blend the two colors better before going back in with Royal Highness on my finger. See, finger swatches can be good for something. Now we have some blendy. Then I'm using the M501 to blend a little higher up into the transition shade on my lower brow bone just to give a more seamless look. Now here goes the Morphe M432 on the lower lash line. I mixed Royal Prerogative and Ladyship on the inner and outer corner and placed Royal Highness in the center. I don't usually smoke out my lower lash line because I don't think you can see it too well and it kind of irritates my eyes, but hey, I want it to be extra. For mascara, I'm using the Makeup Forever Smoky Extravagant. I just bought a full size of this, but still can't let go of the sample size. I don't know, I think it gives me more control or something like that. And because I'm not a fan of falsies, aka I'm crap at applying them, but I wanted a Va Va Voom look, I'm doubling up with the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. And there goes Cotton Candy from Colored Rain on the lips, which honestly could have used a little night moth, am I right? But oh well, c'est la vie. Thank you for watching, guys. Until next time.